All right, ladies. So, when it comes to capturing a man's heart, there are three types of women: those who chase him for love, those who demand his affection, and those who effortlessly draw him in through the art of seduction. Now, when you watch all these silly videos about seduction, they usually talk about manipulation, how to get a man to do what he wants, blah, blah, blah. And seduction is not controlling. It's about knowing how to build real attraction and connection. It's like this. Do you want to learn how to sing and attract him with your melody? Or do you want to learn out of tune and hope that he never gets to hear your real voice? My name is Ismael Gomez. I'm a coach, writer, and speaker. And today I want to teach you how to engage with a man using simple principles of seduction. From understanding why seduction works, to phrases that make him feel special, to playful ways to spark his protective instincts. But before the video starts, I want you to stop multitasking. Give me a full attention so I can seduce you with my ideas. See what I did there? Okay, so let's begin. Number 1, why seduction? All right, ladies. So let me start this video by saying that seduction is a skill, just like anything else. I've coached women who came to me saying that they weren't naturally confident and they didn't know how to seduce a man. And I always ask them, well, have you trained yourself to get better at it? And by training, I don't mean standing in front of the mirror and shouting affirmations like, I'm confident, right? I mean actually learning the micro skills of seduction and confidence. So what makes a great seducer anyways? Well, it starts with being outer directed. When you're speaking to a man, especially if you're into him, it's easy for you to get caught up in an internal monologue saying, does he like me? Am I saying the right thing? How do I look right now? Or you enter every conversation with an outcome in mind. You think, okay, so I'm going to see him today because I want to tell him this thing so he can do this other thing for me. But if things don't go according to plan, you feel tense and irritated, and he can feel that energy as well. I mean, think about this. When you go to watch a movie, okay, do you go with the idea of like, I want this and this to happen so I can enjoy the movie? Or are you there to appreciate the story as it unfolds? And by the way, for those of you who ask me for movie recommendations, I suggest that you check out Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. Let me know what you think about it. But anyways, here's the final point that I want you to understand. And that is that a man doesn't want to be with the woman who's the best at convincing him to do something. He wants to be with the woman with whom he can have the best experiences. And this means that your focus should be on creating memorable moments, okay? Being present and building a connection that feels natural and exciting. Number 2, seductive phrases. Words are extremely influential, right? And when you use them with the right intention, they can make a man feel more connected to you. As I've mentioned in many of my videos, okay, men like to feel powerful. So you want that sense of power to be connected to your presence. So a key principle of seduction is to make him feel powerful, while subtly incorporating both you and him in the conversation. And let me give you an example, because I know that you ladies love when I give you these phrases. So instead of saying you're a good kisser, you can say, you really know how to kiss me. Because if you notice that first statement, you're a good kisser, is generic, right? It could apply to anyone. But the second option makes it more about the unique connection between the two. Of you, you can also say, I like when you hold me, which carries far more emotional weight than you know how to make a woman feel safe. Okay, so I think you get the idea, but let me give you a few other seductive phrases that you can use. I enjoy the way that you make me feel when we are together. You always know how to make me laugh. Thank you. I haven't had this much fun in a long time. These phrases will make him feel special and give him a sense of accomplishment in the relationship. However, sometimes you also want to spice things up with a playful challenge. Okay, remember that the goal is to make him feel powerful around you. For example, you can try something like, hey, can you lift that? I know that you're strong, but that looks pretty heavy. I've heard that you're really good at making videos, so can you show me the best one you've made? Yes, someone used that on me. So these are fun ways to engage his confidence and let him shine for you. And final number 3, damsel in distress. Okay, So I know this one might trigger some of you, but as an AGN, I can tell you that sometimes letting us save the day is the ultimate way to strengthen the connection. This is one of the oldest seduction principles, the damsel in distress. And no, this doesn't mean that you should pretend to be helpless or incapable of basic tasks. But occasionally, allowing a man to step in and help you, okay, taps into his masculine energy, his natural desire to protect and provide. And always remember this principle. More than being seen as attractive, men want to be seen as capable. In my experience, the idea of the damsel in distress is not about making the woman look helpless or useless like some old stories may have portrayed, but it's more about giving the man the opportunity to show up for you. And I hate to be the one to break it to you, but if you think that a man is lazy and he doesn't sacrifice much for you, it's likely because he takes you for granted. Even the most incapable guy, if you give him a chance to be with the woman that he truly wants, he'll do the impossible to be with her. And let me tell you a story about a friend of mine that I had back in college, like a decade ago. And she was dating this guy who was always giving her the bare minimum, okay? And she would always find excuses for him. So I told her, listen, I don't think he's that interested in you. And the main issue was that he lived 2 hours away. And he would only come to see her twice a month. So my friend, being the crazy person that she is, she created a fake Instagram profile of a very attractive woman, okay? With fake followers and everything. I mean, this girl was crazy. But she started a conversation with him online, okay? And eventually, after messaging for a while, she said that she wanted to meet in person, but that she lived in Georgia, which is like 8 hours away from us here in Miami. And guess what the guy said? Oh, that's fine. I can drive there tomorrow and meet you in person. How about that? And by the way, you know that this is just not a man's thing, okay? I've seen many women do the same to some guys. They made excuses like they were feeling sick to avoid going out with them. And then when they were actually sick, they ended up going out with another man that they were truly interested in. All right, ladies, so remember that seduction is not about chasing outcomes or trying to make someone like you. Okay, it's more about creating memorable experiences, speaking in a way that deepens your connection, and giving him the opportunity to show up for you. And for today's comment, we have Christine Rodriguez 3976, who said, since my divorce 16 years ago, I stayed alone for many years and did not put myself out there. In the past 2 years, I have tried dating and he has failed. Just hearing these things makes me feel that my decision in staying single is still a great idea. Now, let me say to you, Christine, and to many others who feel the same way here on the channel, that I know that sometimes when I speak about the worst things that man can do, it might feel like there's no hope. But remember that I'm only sharing this so you can avoid falling into those traps, okay? I always say that I've had women who took advantage of me many times in the past, okay? But that has never changed the way that I perceive women. I know that there are amazing women out there because I've met them. And I know that there are amazing guys for you, okay, that want to build a lasting relationship with you. And I hope that you get to meet him soon so you can tell us all about it. And anyways, thank you for subscribing to my channel. I'm glad you chosen me to learn about self-love, dating, and relationship dynamics. Because like I always say, for your relationships to change, you need to change. Have a beautiful day. Welcome back to the deeper layers of this conversation because we are just scratching the surface of what it truly means to captivate a human soul, and specifically the male psyche, in a way that is both respectful and deeply magnetic. I want you to imagine for a moment that you are standing in a room filled with noise and chaos, and everyone is shouting for attention. But you are the calm center, the eye of the storm that draws people in. Not because you are loud, but because you are present and authentic. And that is the essence of true seduction. It is not a trick, it is not a game, it is a state of being that radiates confidence and warmth and intrigue. When I talk about the 3 types of women, I am not judging any of them. But I am inviting you to see where you might be stuck in patterns that do not serve your highest happiness. The woman who chases is often driven by fear, the fear of loss, the fear of being alone, and this energy can feel heavy and demanding to a man who instinctively wants to pursue and conquer. The woman who demands affection is often driven by insecurity and a need for validation, which can feel like a burden rather than a gift. But the woman who uses the art of seduction, she is driven by self-love and a genuine desire to connect. And this energy is light and inviting and irresistible. It is important to understand that seduction is not about manipulation, because manipulation is about control, and control is the opposite of connection. When you try to control someone, you are building a wall between you and them. But when you seduce, you are building a bridge. You are inviting them to cross over into your world because they want to, not because they have to. This distinction is crucial because it changes everything about how you approach relationships. Instead of asking, "How can I make him like me?" you start asking, "How can I create an experience that is so enjoyable and meaningful that he naturally wants to be part of it?" This shift in perspective is powerful because it puts you in the driver's seat of your own emotions and actions. You are no longer waiting for his approval. You are offering your presence as a gift and letting him decide if he wants to unwrap it. And let me tell you, most men are starving for this kind of genuine connection. They are tired of games and tests and mixed signals. They want a woman who knows who she is and who is comfortable in her own skin. They want a woman who can look them in the eye and see them, not just as a provider or a partner, but as a complex and fascinating human being. This is what it means to be outer directed. It means you are focused on the interaction itself rather than on your own anxieties and doubts. When you are outer directed, you are listening not just to the words, but to the tone, the body language, and the energy behind them. You are noticing the little details that make him unique, and you are responding to them with curiosity and appreciation. This creates a feedback loop of positive energy that builds attraction naturally and effortlessly. It is like dancing, where you are following the lead, but also adding your own flair and style. You are not trying to dominate the dance. You are trying to create harmony and beauty together. And this is where the magic happens. When you stop trying to force outcomes and start enjoying the process, you become more attractive because you are more relaxed and authentic. Men can sense this relaxation, and it puts them at ease. It allows them to open up and share their true selves with you. And when a man shares his true self with you, he feels vulnerable and exposed. And if you respond with acceptance and warmth, he will feel a deep sense of trust and connection. This trust is the foundation of any lasting relationship. Without it, you are just playing roles and pretending to be someone you are not. But with it, you can build something real and enduring. So how do you cultivate this outer-directed mindset? It starts with mindfulness. It starts with paying attention to the present moment and letting go of judgments and expectations. When you are talking to a man, notice how your body feels. Are you tense? Are you holding your breath? Are you crossing your arms? These are signs that you are in your head and not in your body. Take a deep breath and relax your shoulders. Soften your gaze and really look at him. Listen to what he is saying without planning your response. Let his words sink in and then respond from a place of genuine interest. This might feel awkward at first if you are used to being in your head, but with practice, it will become second nature. And the more you practice, the more natural and effortless your interactions will become. You will find that you are no longer trying to impress him, but simply enjoying his company. And paradoxically, this is what makes you most impressive, because it shows that you are confident and secure in yourself. You do not need his validation to feel good about yourself. You are already whole and complete, and this wholeness is incredibly attractive. It signals to him that you are a prize to be won, not a problem to be solved. And men love a challenge. They love the thrill of the pursuit. But they do not want to chase someone who is running away. They want to chase someone who is inviting them in. This is the delicate balance of seduction. You are open and inviting, but you are also mysterious and intriguing. You reveal yourself gradually, layer by layer, keeping him curious and engaged. You do not dump all your information and emotions on him at once. You save some for later. You keep him guessing and wondering. This creates tension and anticipation, which are key ingredients in sexual attraction. But remember, this tension must be balanced with warmth and connection. If you are too mysterious, you can seem cold and distant. If you are too warm, you can seem easy and unchallenging. The art is in finding the sweet spot where you are both accessible and elusive. And this brings us to the power of words. Words are not just sounds, they are vessels of energy and emotion. When you speak, you are casting a spell. You are creating a reality. And if you use your words wisely, you can create a reality of desire and connection. But if you use them poorly, you can create a reality of distance and misunderstanding. This is why it is so important to be intentional with your language, to choose words that uplift and inspire, rather than criticize and diminish, to speak in a way that makes him feel seen and valued. And one of the most powerful ways to do this is to make him feel powerful. Now, I know this might sound controversial in today's world where we talk so much about equality and empowerment. But let me clarify what I mean by making him feel powerful. I do not mean submitting to him or letting him dominate you. I mean acknowledging his strengths and capabilities and letting him shine. Men have a deep, innate desire to feel competent and effective. They want to feel that they can make a difference in your life. And when you allow them to do this, you are fulfilling a core psychological need. You are validating their masculinity. And this validation is incredibly rewarding for them. It makes them feel good about themselves, and it makes them want to be around you more. Because being with you makes them feel like the best version of themselves. This is the secret to lasting attraction. It is not about changing him or fixing him. It is about appreciating him for who he is and encouraging him to grow into who he wants to be. And when you do this, he will naturally want to give you his best. He will want to protect you and provide for you and care for you. Not because he has to, but because he wants to. Because you have made him feel like a hero. And every man wants to be a hero in the eyes of the woman he loves. So how do you do this in practice? It starts with the way you ask for help. Instead of doing everything yourself and resenting him for not stepping up, try asking for his assistance in small ways. Ask him to fix something around the house. Ask him for his advice on a problem you are facing. Ask him to carry something heavy for you. These small requests give him the opportunity to show his competence and strength. And when he does acknowledge it, thank him sincerely. Tell him how much you appreciate his help. Tell him how safe and secure you feel when he is around. These words are like music to his ears. They reinforce his positive behavior and encourage him to do more. But be careful not to overdo it. If you ask for help with everything, you will seem helpless and incompetent, and that is not attractive. The key is to be selective, to ask for help only when it is appropriate and when it allows him to shine, and to make sure that you are also contributing to the relationship in your own unique ways. Because a relationship is a partnership. It is a dance of give and take, and both partners need to feel valued and appreciated. So while you are making him feel powerful, make sure you are also feeling powerful. Make sure you are honoring your own needs and desires. Make sure you are not sacrificing your identity for the sake of the relationship. Because a woman who loses herself in a relationship is not attractive. She is tragic. And no man wants to be with a tragedy. He wants to be with a queen. A woman who knows her worth and who demands respect. And the best way to demand respect is to give it to yourself. To treat yourself with kindness and compassion. To set boundaries and stick to them. To walk away from situations that do not serve you. This self-respect is the foundation of all healthy relationships. Because if you do not respect yourself, no one else will. And if you do not love yourself, no one else can love you fully. So before you can seduce anyone else, you must first seduce yourself. You must fall in love with your own life. You must find joy and fulfillment in your own interests and passions. Because when you are happy and fulfilled, you radiate a positive energy that is irresistible to others. You become a magnet for love and abundance. And this is the true power of seduction. It is not about getting someone to love you. It is about becoming someone who is worthy of love. And when you embody this truth, you will find that love comes to you naturally and effortlessly. You will not have to chase it or demand it. It will simply flow to you like a river to the sea. Because you are aligned with the natural order of things. You are in harmony with your true self. And this harmony is the most attractive quality of all. So let us go deeper into the specific phrases and techniques that can help you cultivate this energy. Because while mindset is important, action is also necessary. You need to know what to say and how to say it. And this is where the art of language comes in. As I mentioned earlier, words have power. And the right words at the right time can create a spark of attraction that lasts a lifetime. But the wrong words can extinguish that spark in an instant. So it is important to be mindful of your language, to choose words that are positive and uplifting, to avoid words that are negative and critical, and to use language that creates a sense of intimacy and connection. One of the most effective ways to do this is to use we language. Instead of saying I or you, try saying we. For example, instead of saying I like this restaurant, say we have such good taste in restaurants. This subtle shift creates a sense of unity and partnership. It implies that you are a team, and men love feeling like they are part of a team. It gives them a sense of belonging and purpose. Another effective technique is to use sensory language. Describe your experiences in terms of sight, sound, smell, taste, and touch. For example, instead of saying, I had a good time, say, I loved the way the candlelight reflected in your eyes and the way your voice sounded in the quiet room. This kind of language engages the imagination and creates a vivid mental image. It makes the experience feel more real and memorable. And it also shows that you are present and attentive, that you are noticing the details. And this attention to detail is incredibly flattering. It makes him feel special and unique. Because you are not just seeing him, you are really seeing him. And this is a rare and precious gift. So practice using sensory language in your conversations. Describe the world around you in rich and vivid detail, and invite him to do the same. Ask him what he sees, hears, smells, tastes, and feels. This will deepen your connection and create a shared experience that is both intimate and exciting. But remember, language is not just about words. It is also about tone and body language. Your voice should be warm and inviting. Your eyes should be soft and engaging. Your body should be open and relaxed. These nonverbal cues communicate just as much as your words. In fact, they communicate more. Because they are subconscious and automatic, they reveal your true feelings and intentions. So make sure your nonverbal communication matches your verbal communication. If you are saying nice things, but your body is tense and closed off, he will sense the disconnect, and he will not trust your words. But if your body is open and relaxed, and your voice is warm and sincere, he will believe you, and he will feel safe and comfortable with you. And this safety and comfort are essential for intimacy, because intimacy requires vulnerability, and vulnerability requires trust. So by aligning your verbal and nonverbal communication, you are building a foundation of trust that allows intimacy to flourish. And this is the ultimate goal of seduction. Not just to attract someone, but to connect with them on a deep and meaningful level. To create a bond that is both passionate and enduring. And this is possible for everyone, regardless of age, appearance, or background. Because seduction is not about looks, it is about energy. And energy is something you can cultivate and control. You can choose to be positive and optimistic. You can choose to be curious and engaged. You can choose to be kind and compassionate. And these choices will shape your energy and make you more attractive.